Hey everybody, Rob Valencia is here with Pinnacle Financial Services, here with another quick short little video to discuss a topic that we get talked about all the time here in the office, and that is how to renew your health insurance license and your life license and your annuity license, really anything that's attached to that. So there is two websites that you can utilize to do so. They are NIPR, NIPR.com, and Sircon, and that's SIRCON.com. Really, it's kind of a preference for you, just totally up to you which one you want to utilize. In the past, for myself, I'm a licensed insurance agent as well. I tend to use NIPR. I just like the look and feel of it a little bit better. And we can kind of quickly go through and I will show you how to do it. It's pretty straightforward to both apply for a new license or renew an existing license. Or you can even add a line of authority. So, every state has their own, so to say, what they call their health insurance licenses, whether it's health and sickness, just health. Carolinas have some weird things with how they do their licenses, where you need to get a Medicare supplement, separate insurance from the health insurance. So that there is some things that certainly, if you don't understand, you could give us a call here in the office. We could try to help you and walk you through it. This process is fairly straightforward. So if you're just renewing your existing license, and this is whether it's going to be your home state, so for me it'd be Pennsylvania, or any non-resident license that you may have. All of these are going to have fees. Please keep that in mind. Some require more things than others. Every state's a little different. Like, for instance, if you are getting a Florida non-resident, you need to be fingerprinted. So you actually have to set up a fingerprinting appointment at a place that they've, licensed close to you in order for you to get a non-resident appointment license in Florida. There's a couple other states with some weird things. So once again, if you're not sure, and this site will actually walk you through it. So let's just say I want to renew license and I'm on NIPR. Don't mind the slow internet. You're going to have to pick which license you want to do. Okay. Whether you're a business, so an LLC, or an individual, you're going to sign in as one or the other. And there's a couple different ways that you can do this. We're just going to do a national producer number. You're going to have to put in your last name and your NPN. If you do not know your NPN, you can Google NPN search. Make sure you click on this. Actually, NIPR has an NPN search on the front of their webpage as well that you can utilize. Okay, the last four are your social security number, your date of birth, and then this is going to walk you through. It'll actually tell you your order history, if you need to, make any sort of changes, if you need to resume a saved application. Now, for me, when I select this, I don't think I have anything right now that I need to renew. So what's going to happen is anything that you renew that you need to renew, and most of the states will email you to let you know when it's all said and done. I don't have any states right now that I need to renew, so this isn't going to load anything. Once you get through that process, you'll go basically through the application step by step. It's going to ask you about your personal information so it can look you up. You're going to select which lines of coverage you want to do. You don't have to do all of them. You could just do the health. You also have a life and annuity license. You can add those lines of authority as well. Remember, you're going to have to pay per line of authority in most cases. Some states don't, so you can actually select a couple and play with it and see what the charges are going to look like. When you put in your personal information, it'll find you. Then you'll go through the application process, which is typically, I would say, 9 to 12 questions, just asking you, and it's mostly, have you ever been convicted of a felony? If you are, what is that felony? Every state is a little different, so each application is going to be a little bit different. But for the most part, they're just worried about your criminal background when they're doing it. When you're done, it'll ask you for a credit card, your bank account information to charge it for the license fees. See, I don't have any licenses to renew. That's why I showed that. And then once you pay, what will happen is you will get an email with your receipt. Then you'll get an email from NIPR saying the state's received the application. And typically within 24 to 48 hours, you'll get your approval email from NIPR saying you're approved and you can print your license. So like I said, NIPR's pretty straightforward. When it comes to renew, you can print your license here. In some cases, you will have to pay for that. And then if you, like I said, if you need to add any lines of authority or also look up your NPN number. This is what Sircon looks like. It's kind of the same thing. You know, you can, and really there's no difference. It's up to you which one you want to use. We really, don't have a preference. Personally, I use NIPR. And then, so if you need to renew your license, you're going to click this here, and then you're going to click Renew Insurance. Individual is you, firm is if you have an LLC or a business, continue, and then you have to go through the process. So when you do this, it's going to ask you what state you want to renew. You could just do all available states, and then you will need to put in some information. There's a little bit more in depth, I'd say, than NIPR. NIPR was able to find me pretty quickly, but here you're going to need your social security number, last name, your resident state, your resident license number. When you hit continue, it'll kind of take you through that process. And it is the same process with Sircon as it is with NIPR. You'll put in your information, it'll find you. You go through the application process for the state that you're applying for. The questions are going to range, but in most cases, it's just more of a background question. Have you been convicted of a felony, a misdemeanor, or any of those? Have you had a bankruptcy? Those two type of things. So that's it. It's a pretty straightforward process. We here at the office do know a little bit of the quirks. If you have any issues, keep in mind any state that you are licensed in, the carriers have fees as well. We can help you figure out what those are, but at the end of the day, if you're licensed in 10 states and you have a personal license and you have a business license, you're gonna have to pay for not just yourself, but also your LLC. So it's double the charges in 10 states in that scenario. So it can be very costly. I would highly recommend making sure that you're going to get licensed and appointed in the states you know for sure that you're going to write business, or at least have prospects, because it can get very costly. And that's just one carrier scenario. Other carriers also charge fees. So if you want to get appointed in 10 states and you have a personal and an LLC and you want to do it with 3 different carriers, you could be talking, a couple $100 depending upon the state. I mean, Florida alone, and I know I keep referencing Florida, but they have some of the more obscure rules. I mean, just with one carrier in particular that I can think of, I know they have a $300 fee, and that's every 2 years. So if you have one PDP client, sometimes it's not necessarily worth it from a Medicare standpoint. So keep that in mind. Just wanted to make that point. If you have any questions on any of this, feel free to give us a call here at the office, 1-800-772-6881. You can talk to Ann in our office here, our secretary, and get you over to the licensing division here or our support staff, and we can certainly answer any questions you may have on this. That is it. I really appreciate you checking out our short training video on how to renew your insurance license. Have a wonderful day, and until next time. Thank you very much.